The Pod Squad.
The Pod Squad.
The Pod Squad.
The Pod Squad. It's the Pod Squad. The Pod Squad.
So, hello. Hi,
Hey.
everybody. We're back.
We're back.
This is the Pod Squad sessions, and right now you're watching Belinda and Mike. I'm not sure where he's at. My configuration has all changed today, and Jose, who's in the frozen tundra of Alaska somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but he's wearing his Cowboys gear.
Woohoo! we're wearing our Cowboys gear.
Yeah,
because
both of you have your Cowboys gear on.
And I bet you Victor will be too.
You didn't get the memo, Belinda?
Say what now?
You didn't get the memo?
I did not get the memo. Since I don't follow football.
What? Boo.
Yeah. My kids at school ask me all the time, "Do you like football, miss? Did you watch the game?" No. No, I don't watch that. Give me any other sport, I'll probably watch it, but I won't watch football. So,
Basketball?
I'll watch basketball, yeah.
You watch the Spurs?
I have not been watching. I think it's too
What?
early. I think it's too early for me to watch it. I'm waiting for Wemby to get in his groove, and then.
Well, he's gonna do it with the rest of the team that they got to develop around him.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
that's true too. Yeah, they all gotta learn how to work together.
Yes.
He's sensational. I mean, he's just something else. If
Uh-huh.
you watch any of his highlights, he's incredible.
I don't think they're gonna get into their groove until next year, though. It's like they
Oh,
need
yeah.
that time. Yeah.
They're young and they need some more what's the word I'm looking for? Marquee players, maybe. They have a lot of supporting players, but it kind of reminds me of when we got Robinson.
Yeah,
going
those
way
first
back.
years, yeah,
You know,
before.
we just didn't have the right team around him for 10 years till Duncan, and then
Yeah.
it started to gel. I'm
Exactly.
hoping they learn from that and they get him some help. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one person, one superstar on a team is not gonna do it.
Right.
You need more world-class talent. They have good young guys, but they've also traded off a lot of their developed players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a business. I mean, for a while there, till they landed this first-round pick, they were like a training mill. They were putting out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
They were bringing in players, buying them cheap, developing them, and trading them at a higher value and getting more for their money, what have you. I mean, in to simplify it, that's the way I saw it. You know, that they weren't really trying to buy for another championship team till we were fortunate enough to get the draft pick to land this Wemby. Now they need to, you know, re-strategize what they're gonna do. Because
A lot of those guys.
if they don't get it together in 3 years, you know, when his rookie contract is up, he could fly the coop. I don't think he will. He's, you know, he's followed Parker. I mean, Parker's his idol. They're both from France, so he's always wanted to be a Spur. So he fought as a kid. He was a big Spurs fan. So I don't think he'll leave, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
The lure of the bright lights of New York, LA, or big money can always change people. But I think he'll stick around as long as they get the right people around him.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens.
Yep.
I have high hopes for the future.
Me
I
too.
think, as long as we got Pop at the helm, everybody
Yep.
criticizing Pop right now, but you
That's
know
exactly right.
Pop knows what he's doing. Pop knows what the thing, and the thing is, a lot of Pop's old tricks are like people have learned from him.
Mm-hmm.
Not only has he developed players, he's developed coaches.
Well, yeah,
So
he's mentored so many
coaches,
of them, and they've gone, elsewhere. They're taking
yeah,
all of that they
yeah.
learned from
they're
him.
taking
It's
all
like-
that knowledge and they're using it against us
Yeah.
because now
Yeah.
because they know our playbook, they know how
Mhm.
Pop thinks, and they go, okay, so it's not like a secret anymore, like when
Mhm.
like it was 20 years ago when he first came onto the scene.
Yeah, there's like 7, 8, 9 coaches that used to coach with him before. And
Yeah,
then now they're head coaches. Yeah.
yeah, Steve Kerr. I mean, look what he left. And look what he's done with Golden State. I mean,
Mhm.
pretty much he followed Pop's game plan almost
Yep.
to a T.
Yeah.
Ime Udoka, what's the other guy's name? Bolden Heiser, Sozer, whatever his name is. I
Mhm.
forget how to
Mhm.
say it.
Well, hopefully he's got some cards up his sleeve that he hasn't quite played yet, and as long as he's going to be staying, be head
I hope
coach,
he
well
coaches
then.
till he's 100.
Yeah.
Hope he coaches. I mean, he's like 70 something now.
Damn.
Hope
Yeah.
he coaches till he's 89 years old or 100. I think he can do it.
We'll keep
I
our
think
fingers
that-
crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people don't have the patience right now. Everybody wants to see a championship already,
Yeah,
but
they want
Yeah.
now because that's what we
it's
used
the
to.
process. It's the process. It's like Mr. Miyagi teaching Daniel,
Exactly.
and he doesn't quite get it. He's kind of like, look, you're not teaching me jack. And then before you know it, he's like, doing the crane and everything. So are you going to give us like a time? Like you said, 10 minutes for each of
we
us?
each
and
have 5 minutes to give our point of
then,
view.
shoot. 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So today we're going to be discussing who we consider, I guess, the best director, in our own eyes.
Mhm. Okay.
Best film director. So we're each gonna get 5 minutes to state our point, and then I guess the audience can decide, or
Okay.
they can go watch some movies and check out some new directors maybe they haven't heard of before. Who knows? We'll see. Although I have a feeling that most of the directors we're gonna name
So I was going to say, I think
have
all of
been
them are
heard of before.
Mhm. If they're our favorites, it's probably because they've made a lot of movies. So.
Yes, they're not gonna be
Yeah.
small names.
But maybe they're new to somebody who's not really into film or
Into film, yeah, true.
something like that. So we're gonna turn them on to some new stuff. Okay. Whatever.
Mike
There he
is
is.
back. Mike is back.
Mike
Sorry.
is back. Okay, what happened to your light, Jose?
Huh?
Your light. Something happened to
I
your
don't
light.
know. I don't know. I think it's only when you guys come on. See, like when you guys pop up,
Uh-huh.
if there's light, then I get light on my
Oh,
face.
from your
yeah.
screen.
Or my
Okay,
screen. Yeah.
that's what
And
it
then
was.
like Mike right now, when he went dark, well then
Yeah.
the light goes away.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hey, what? I just got on my computer and happened to be, hey, y'all were here. How about that?
Are you wearing your
How
Cowboys
about
gear?
that?
Yes, sir.
Oh my
3 out
gosh,
of
another
4.
We need to
3 out of
tilt the
4.
camera down because we can't tell.
Somebody
Yeah, we're
had to be
catching a little
different.
bit of your light up there. There you go.
You need to reframe your so we can see that star.
Somebody
go.
didn't get the memo.
Yeah,
I thought it
no.
was funny because Dak Prescott was just, here we go. And then the
Here we
other guy
go.
says, here we go. That was funny.
I thought so too.
That's why he's not the starter.
Yeah.
So Victor, we were just going over the rules of today's
The rule?
session.
Uh-oh.
The
Uh-oh.
rules of engagement.
Uh-oh.
There you
Rules
go.
of engagement.
I'm already in
correct.
trouble. I'm already in trouble.
So we're gonna have 5 minutes apiece to have our say about who we consider the best director.
Which will be mine.
The
and,
best? Is this a competition? I didn't
Which
know.
will be mine. Since
It'll be yours. You think it'll be yours? I don't think we're gonna vote on it. We're just stating who we think it is.
I mean,
everybody gets a trophy. Is that it?
first of all, I think this is really unfair because even if each of us came up with 2 directors, you're still going to leave out a lot of really good
Oh,
directors.
definitely. Yeah.
So, I mean, so it's.
Oh, I have a list.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? What was that?
My list is on a teeny little piece of paper, but
That's
it's
like a
all
post-it
handwritten
note
on
there.
it.
See, but I understood it as like who's the best, so we all have to prove that ours is the best. So I'm trying to
Oh my!
intimidate the other.
You're still in
The
Cowboys
three.
football mode,
Okay,
obviously.
well,
There you
what's the
go.
criteria that determines the best?
Uh,
Well, that's going to be up
opinion?
to you to tell us. So maybe you can change us over to your side. Who knows?
We need a rubric. That's what we need.
Rubric. No, I don't want to hear anything about any rubrics.
You want me to go first?
Oh, but if you'd like.
And I know y'all went for the big time. So I'll go first because, mine is to me an outstanding director. And by the way, I'm on the timer now, right? So you're timing 5 minutes.
Oh, definitely.
So I went with this guy because I thought he's an excellent director, but he hasn't directed a whole lot of movies because he's kind of shifted over to TV. And he's done a great job in his TV directing as well. And the name of the guy is Frank Darabont. So this guy, everything he does is outstanding, but he just doesn't do it very much. I wish he would. I wish he'd come back to the theaters and make more movies, but I guess he's got it going. I mean, okay. He directed The Mist. Okay. A very, very good movie. He directed The Shawshank Redemption. He directed The Green Mile. And if that wasn't good enough, then he said, I'll do TV now. I'll do the zombie show.
Walking Dead. Yes.
The Walking Dead. Yes. So the guy's just good. I mean, he's solid. And I wish he would make more movies. I think he was nominated for Best Director for when he did The Shawshank Redemption. And everybody knows how good that movie is. Thing about his movies is he makes movies that are watchable. Because a lot of movies, they win Academy Awards and stuff, but you never see them on TV because they're not watchable. They're good. His movies are watchable, okay? You can watch them over and over and over again. I don't care how many times you've seen it. When it's on TV, you stop and you watch it because it just draws you in. And that's what he's really good at making you feel like you're part of what's going on the screen. And it just, it's a very, I don't know if you want to call it a like movie comfort food. But he's really good, super. I love the guy. Seen him being interviewed before. Nice guy, but I just wish he'd do more movies. But he's doing The Walking Dead, and I don't know what he's got up his sleeve. I didn't really do a lot of research because I know a lot about him already. But what he's doing next, I don't know what his upcoming projects are. I assume he's still doing Walking Dead. And
he did Walking Dead for maybe a couple years only, and somebody else took over after that. But the 2 years, I think it was 2 years that he was directing that show were probably the best years of the series. But
Yeah,
I totally agree. He's awesome.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's got any film projects coming up, but I hope so, because I miss looking at his movies. But like I said, if I see The Green Mile on TV, flipping through channel, oh, I gotta watch that. So he just has a real good way of telling a story, and I recognize certain directors by their editing style and their camera angles and how they like to light scenes and stuff like that. And there's something about the way he directs that just draws you in. So that's the guy I would pick. I don't know if I've used up my 5 minutes or not. Probably not, but
You still got a couple if you want to talk more about him.
No, I really don't have a whole lot else to say, because again, he hasn't done a whole lot on cinema, and that's my main thing. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I know that the Walking Dead was very, very critically acclaimed, and the guy's solid. Don't know what else to say, but everybody knows who he is, and he's pretty good.
Very
Yo,
good.
anything y'all want to add?
Since we're competing here against each other, even though I love the guy, I'm probably gonna trash him at some point in here just for the sake of
Wow.
but that's the whole point of this, right? We're trying to prove who's the best.
I
Who's
didn't
at
know
the
that.
top.
But...
That's the way I understood the assignment.
Went first, because I don't know. Will
That's the
I
way I
have
understood the
an
assignment.
opportunity to trash your director? I don't know.
We gotta go for our guy.
Go for it. Why don't you go ahead and go next?
Oh, you want me to go next? Okay.
Sure. Well, let me restart the time now, because. All right, ready? You got 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, ladies of the jury. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. All right. Well, I know Victor was saying that, he didn't want to go for the directors that everybody was going to talk about, but they talk about them for a reason, right? Because they're the best. You're going to talk about basketball, you're going to talk about Jordan, right? You got to talk about the best, right? You can't leave them out of the conversation. So I picked the Michael Jordan of, which is Quentin Tarantino.
I heard he picks his nose.
Quentin Nose Picker Tarantino. Is that it?
Go ahead.
Oh,
sorry.
And I just thought of this right now because they say that The Shawshank Redemption, which was directed by Frank Darabont, probably would have been up for an Oscar or would have won in 1994. But there was a film called Pulp Fiction, which won for Best Original Screenplay that year, written by
Quentin Tarantino.
There you go. Which means that Darabont is here and Tarantino's up here. Had Darabont been a basketball player like Giannis and Tarantino would have been Wemby, it would have been a block at the basket. Stuffed, denied.
You know who won that game.
Oh! Touche. All right, enough jokes. So
we're getting into the Godzilla King Kong thing again here.
Star Trek or Lost in Space.
Cowboys are
the great rivalries of our generation.
Yes.
Okay.
The Commanders, aka the can't say it because it's not politically correct anymore.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Indigenous people of North America.
Jackie.
All right. All right. Well, Tarantino, I'll just go over his filmography. Reservoir Dogs in 1992. Pulp Fiction in 1994, which won an Academy Award. Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, Death Proof, which he also co-directed with another director. That's one of my favorites, Robert Rodriguez. He also did Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, which he won a second Academy Award. How many does Darabont have? How many Academy Awards does he have?
He's had some you don't know about.
Oh, I don't know. Does he even have like the South San ISD Hall of Fame? No, no, not even that. Ooh,
That's
didn't know they
getting
had
beeped
one.
out, by the way.
yeah.
Didn't know they had a Hall of Fame.
Let's see, The Hateful Eight, 2015, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019. He's won a BAFTA award, a Golden Globe. He's been nominated for 5 Grammys. He's won a Saturn Award, which means that even on Saturn, people love him. He's even got a Primetime Emmy on TV also for directing an episode of CSI. I don't know which one. There's like 30 of
Ooh,
them.
I did not know that.
There's like 30 CSIs, CSI West Side San Antonio, CSI.
Laredo.
There you go. West
CSI Laredo.
CSI Frio Street. And according to a survey of academics, film academics, he was voted the best director, even above Alfred Hitchcock, or most studied director in universities above Alfred Hitchcock, Christopher Nolan, Martin Scorsese, and even Steven Spielberg.
Ooh.
Take that, Frank Darabont. And that there is the winning punch. Muhammad Ali knocking down Joe Frazier.
Okay. Look, you made it. You only had like 6 seconds left. Ooh.
You can tell he rehearsed.
Maybe. All right.
Are we just gonna sprinkle this episode with sports analogies now?
I guess.
This is our sports edition.
Yeah.
The champ is here.
Champ
The
is
champ
here.
is
Do you have any comeback to that, Victor?
No,
I think he's trying to catch his breath.
Oh my God.
It was a barrage of punches coming at him.
Does anybody want to have something to say about either of those picks before we pause and come back?
Tarantino to me is a very, very, very good screenwriter, and his films aren't. To me, his films aren't for everybody. I think people who love him adore him, and there's people who just they're turned off by, because there is a lot of violence in his movies, and I don't know. I like him. I look, they're okay. I think they're good movies. They're solid, but I will say that partly to be devil's advocate, and also because it is true, not everybody's on board with the violence that he depicts, because he does tend to get pretty graphic with it, which is kind of cool, but some people it's too much. But I do love the way he writes dialogue. He writes great dialogue. I will say that about him. So, yeah.
Good point.
Hey.
So there you lose.
Ah!
So you're saying he's a better screenwriter than director? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I think I don't know the number. I'm sure Jose does, how many awards he's gotten for writing and how many for directing.
Yeah, he got 2 Academy Awards for screenplays for his writing.
No doubt.
I mean, I guess he writes everything, right? That he's ever directed.
I think
I
so.
believe he does. He doesn't usually get source material. He is the source of the material that he puts on screen. So, yeah. Whereas what's funny that you brought that up, because Frank Darabont, all of his successful movies have been based on Stephen King books. So maybe Frank and Stephen have a partnership going there. Maybe that's why he hasn't made a movie. He's waiting for Stephen King to come up with another book. Anyway,
And the same with The Walking Dead, right? It was a comic book before
I believe so. Yes.
it became a show. So he's good at taking source material and nothing original. Like Quentin, who won an Academy Award for 2 original screenplays. Just kidding, just
Oh,
kidding.
all right, well, there you go. We got 2 views, 2 more to come. Still got 4 minutes, so I don't know what say you all out in out there viewing us or listening to us. Who do you prefer? Tarantino? Maybe.
Oh, we could also come
Or
up
Darabont.
with for real turkeys.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you guys bring up some good points. When you talk about best, it's hard to say who's best because their styles are so different. Like Tarantino is about blood and gore and shock value, of course. There's a lot of directors out there that you can't really put a label on what because they're all over the place. You know, they might have a dramatic film one, and then a comedy the next. You know, look at Robert Rodriguez, for example. How do you compare Sin City to Spy Kids?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So to try to say somebody's the best at what? Should we categorize the best horror film director, the best comedy director, the best dramatic director? I mean, there's so many genres out there. So it's hard to say who's the best till you get the director I'm going to talk about because he does it all. So we'll save that.
Ooh.
He's throwing it down.
Them are fighting words there. Okay, I guess we'll hear in just a little bit. But I think that's a good point. I think most directors that really do well or considered like top notch normally have like a certain style or genre that they're really good at, and that's what they're known for. There's a few that can go back and forth between genres, but yeah, I think you're right. That's
versatility is important if we're going to talk about best. If you can take different films and have success in different genres, I think that's where you get closer to who's the best. And I'll elaborate when it's my turn.
See, but I think Tarantino, I think we think about him as this, we think of him as like all just violence and stuff, but I mean, he did a World War II film, right? A blaxploitation film, Jackie Brown. He's done a couple of crime thrillers, right? He did kind of semi-comedy, Django Unchained, which is kind of like spaghetti western, Hateful Eight, right? Westerns. So I think they're all like different genres. They're not, I mean, it's just his style, but he's doing different genres.
They are different genres, but they're all just tinged with that gore and blood. That's just his.
Yeah, to me, it's more he likes that B movie type, style. That's what he's really good at. I think that's what it is. It's that shock value that he likes to provoke people with. That's what it is. So it doesn't matter what other genre it might fall into. I think that is the genre. It's B movie shock value.
Exactly.
I think Mike left us with a cliffhanger there, waiting for the next section.
I think so. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we're gonna come listen to Mike's viewpoint.
Do we have to wait 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Mike, check.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right, I
check.
guess everybody's back. Bill, you want to go next?
No, I want you to go next because I'm saving the best for
Oh,
last.
you're saving the best for last. How do you know mine isn't the best?
Dang.
Come on.
Ooh, shots fired.
So I'm gonna take my little list here.
Since you're saving trees,
her papyrus,
That's right.
her papyrus with all
you're
the
not wasting paper.
her scrolls.
So okay, well let me set my 5 minutes. Mm-mm-mm. 5, okay.
How do we know you're sitting at 5 minutes and not giving yourself like extra? Ah, okay.
An
Just want to make
extra
sure it's
15
fair.
seconds.
And I'll set the little alarm really loud so you can hear it. There you
Okay.
go.
Because mine didn't feel like 5 minutes. It felt like you shortchanged me.
Yeah, you got 4 minutes and 45 seconds. She got the extra 15 seconds.
Well, okay. So I have a list because as always, I can never pick just one. But this time I went ahead and went with my gut and picked one. So
But Mike,
huh?
I was asking her how much of a list can be on that little scrap of paper.
Well, I have about 12 names on here.
Dang.
she wrote in
From-
hieroglyphs. So
Front
All
and
right,
back,
Paul.
little microfiche list.
Microscopic, yeah.
quick reminder, she's an art teacher. So
right.
that's how she does it.
Got it.
So, my favorite director, although there are many, but I guess the one that I consider the best out of the group would be Alfred Hitchcock.
Ooh.
I like classic movies, obviously, and he's just got this really wide span of time where like everything he did was amazing. It's like he started working in movies when he was working as a letter, for like back when they were doing silence and they would have the dialogue or whatever written on the cards.
Cue cards.
So that's how he started out. And he eventually got into directing. His first film was a German film or something that he filmed in Germany. And it's not really well known. But pretty soon he kind of started making his name in film, and he did. If people out there don't know who Alfred Hitchcock is, I'm sure you do. At least you know his films. But he did thrillers and I don't want to say scary because they're not necessarily meant to be scary movies, but they are thrilling as far as like there's a lot of crime and a murder, and there's some scare moments in some of the films as well.
Psychological thriller.
Psychological, yeah, there you go. But to me, he's just like the epitome of a good director. He's like I said, he worked for many years, consistently putting out really good films, and being like really pioneering some techniques One of my favorite films is Notorious, with Cary Grant and Ingmar Bergman, and Claude Rains. And my favorite shot in the whole movie was where they're at a party. There's this big flight of stairs, and the camera kind of tracks down. I don't know if it was like on some kind of a crane or something, but they went from a shot where you see like the whole party going on. It's up at the top of the stairs. They're coming, the camera like comes down, and eventually it comes down to like the principal actors, right? And lands on Cary Grant's hand, who is hiding like a key that leads to the basement. I think it's like a wine cellar or something, where, you know, there's obviously secrets being hidden, because this is a spy flick. But it goes from that wide scene up high all the way down to like a really low scene, to that one key. My 5 minutes are up, but anyway, so he's done stuff like Psycho, he's done Notorious, obviously. He even did TV. He won awards for lots of his movies, although he never got, unfortunately, and very, very sadly, never got an award for Best Director. But his films were consistently being nominated and winning awards. So anyway, that's it. I went a little over, but
Mhm.
Yeah. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Those 15 seconds you stole from Jose.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
And I needed those 15 seconds. Just
Nah, you'll get your 5. Quit crying. Like,
15 seconds. You know she's gonna cut off like 2 or 3 minutes of your.
Yeah. When she edits it, you're only gonna have a minute and 45 seconds anyway.
Post production. Yeah.
when it gets to my point, it's gonna be like, and that's it.
I
So
don't
it'll be
know.
like, that's it.
Yes.
I
You'll
don't
get
know what
cut off.
happened, but it stopped recording.
You'll get cut off as usual.
It was the software. That's what it was.
A technical difficulty. I'm sorry.
Likely story.
All right. Are you ready, Jose?
Yes. Or
Okay.
were you ready for what?
Your
Oh,
rebuttal.
it's Mike's turn. What am I saying? Mike,
Well,
ready?
Dang, Mike.
Wait, I don't know.
That was like-
because
I
are we
thought you
supposed?
were going to see a chance to like talk smack about.
I know she did that fast, right?
A chance to rebut what.
I wanted
Yeah.
to cut off Jose.
She's just looking for it, right? I thought you were giving him a chance to tell why Tarantino is better than Hitchcock. I don't know. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he couldn't even make his movies in color. They were all black and white.
No, they were not all black and white.
Vertigo's in color, isn't it?
Oh,
Vertigo
okay.
is in color, and it
So
actually,
North by Northwest, yeah.
Rear
it
Window.
actually, and North by Northwest. It actually took over the first place for what's considered the best film ever. Took over Citizen Kane over in England. I don't know about here. I think here it's A
England.
Wonderful Life.
Now,
Didn't count because we didn't have viewers from England.
now, is it in color or was it in Technicolor?
Ah, there you
I
go.
think it was Technicolor back then. We gotta
Was
get
it
our
shadow
facts straight.
puppets or
All right.
No,
Let's get started.
I do have to say that Tippi Hedren, who was featured in his, The Birds, had some not nice things to say about him, that she didn't like the way he directed her and the way he handled her in the making of that movie. And so It's not all great. I mean, he is a great director, and I know
Oh,
that
he's an
many of
yeah.
his films are used in film schools. That this is certain techniques, like you said. But I don't know. I didn't read any of her books or anything, but I heard she had some kind of negative things to say about him. So.
Yes, there have been stories floating around about his handling, especially of women in his films, actresses. You know, sometimes we have to kind of look past some things and like really focus on the art of the final piece, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things you wouldn't want highlighted about certain people, and it's not just him. I mean, there's the film pretty much is male dominated. It's well, film directing is pretty much a male dominated area. Only recently have there really been a lot more women getting into the field. There were some, there have been some in the past, and some of them were not given quite their due, but yeah, that's gonna happen, obviously. There's a saying that I can't remember who started saying this. I keep hearing it. Oh, I think it's Zach Braff in his podcast that has this little saying where he says, "Scandal noted." Yes, we know about all this stuff, but we're going to not talk about it and really just focus on the issue at hand. So that's kind of how he okay, we're not going to talk about extramarital affairs or the wife scene or the whatever the scandal is. So
and that's why nobody listens to that podcast, right? Because everybody wants to listen to the podcasts that are like scandalous, right? And I was like, oh.
That are scandalous. But yeah. So and there was another director on my list that I was going to use that for because but we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Mike have his say.
All right. Mike.
All right, Mike. Ready?
Right. Well, I'm just going to touch on that little topic there. I mean, there's people that are good at their jobs, whether it's a teacher, say for example, but they're not the greatest personality or person. So,
what are you trying to say, Mike?
So I'm just trying to say that maybe.
Who are you talking about?
Are we talking about best director or best human being, best rounded human being overall? Everybody's got their flaws, eccentricities, or what have you.
Some worse than others, but
some of them are great. Some people are great all the time. Some, not their finest hour from time to time. Will Smith is a great actor, but he's had his moments. So to say that about Hitchcock, we're not taking away from his directing abilities. I mean, maybe the way he treated some of the people on set has something to say about him as far as being a director, but I think that has more to do with who he is as a person. But that's a different subject for a different day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you ready to tell us who your
time is up?
Best of the best of the
time
best.
is up? Yeah, because I have to start it over again.
Oh no, now we gotta start my timer now. That was my little chiming in.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That was your chiming in.
So now the best of the best of
now,
the best. Okay, there's all kinds of directors that came to mind when we started talking about this. I love the Coen brothers in their films. I love, you know, Oliver Stone, James Cameron. I mean, there's so many. Clint Eastwood,
Mhm.
great directors. I mean,
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yeah, I mean, you can go on and on and on. There's so many. There's only 4 of us. We got 5 minutes. How you gonna narrow it down? And when you said best, I was like, shoot, who comes to mind? All of those came up at the top of the list. But how is anybody going to compare to Steven Spielberg? Come on. The guy's been around forever, and he has touched on so many different types, styles, genres. He made his first short film with his train set called Trainwreck when he was 12 years old, short film. His first full feature, I have to look at my notes, when he was 16, and that one was called, what was it called? Firelight. He made that in 1963. So James Cameron, you know, I'm sorry, Steven Spielberg. James Cameron was number 2 in my list. He's on my list here. I'm looking at my notes. 3 Academy Awards, 4 Directors Guild Awards, Lifetime Achievement Award, Kennedy Center Honor, 2006, Lifetime Achievement, 1995, Cecil B. DeMille Award, 2009, Presidential Medal of Freedom, 2015. Come on. The guy, I mean, and I can go on and on and on and on and on about all the nominations and all his films. Yeah, he won 3 Academy Awards for Schindler's List. Schindler's List got Best Director and Best Picture. Saving Private Ryan, Best Director. But if you look at his career, what brought him to prominence was 26 years old. He made Jaws. Come on. I can remember watching Jaws as a kid and being scared out of my mind. We'd gone to the beach the day before. I guarantee you, if I'd gone to the beach, if I'd seen that movie before we got on the beach, I wouldn't have gone to the beach, or I wouldn't have gotten in the water. I mean, 1975 or 71, he made Duel. 74, Sugarland Express. 1975, Jaws, which really put him on the map. 1977, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 1979, 1941. 1981, Raiders of Lost Ark. 1982, E.T. 84, Indiana Jones. 85, Color Purple. And do you see how he's all over the place with these films? It's not just one genre, just all different types of films. And they're all great films. 1989, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. 91, Hook. 93, Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year. That's an achievement right there. Two blockbusters in the same year. 98. Go ahead.
Totally different movies too.
Yeah, I know. And then now I'm jumping around because there was so many to write down. I started picking out the more prominent ones. 1998, Saving Private Ryan. 2002, Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can. 2005, a remake of War of the Worlds, Orson Welles film. Again, 2008, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I remember when my dad saw that film, he was like, oh my God, he was just like, you know, my dad was one of these guys just like was into stuff like that. Just, he goes, those crystal skulls that, I mean, Steven Spielberg, you got to pay attention to that film. He was just like all into that film. 2012, Lincoln. 2021, remake of West Side Story. I mean, what can you say about this guy? Look at his career. I mean, he's from the time he was 16 years old till how old is he now? 77 years old, born in 1946. Cincinnati, Ohio. I mean, I can go back and do his little biography. I skipped over that. You know,
So he's been around.
yeah,
Yep.
he's been around. He's been around. But to me, the most impressive thing, and this was like even before I started doing a little bit more research. I've known this for years, that he was 26 years old when he made Jaws. He was a kid. He was a kid. Anyway, Steven Spielberg is, to me, the best of the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And that was your 5 minutes.
that was it.
Ah,
Did I finish that on time?
Yeah.
that's nice.
Was
I,
not
I feel
perfect.
I feel like I just got crushed by Bigfoot. Like it just kind of like
Like
I was all proud of Quentin Tarantino, and then Bigfoot just came in.
King Kong just came in and
Yeah, I
said,
Get Sasquatched.
The Bigfoot. Yeah.
I don't know. I love Tarantino. If you like his style, yeah, he's got some great stuff. Sure. You know,
Well, I think what makes Spielberg notable is because his movies are watchable. Like I said, you can watch them over and over and over again. There's always something to get out of them. He knows how to make a movie and tell a story that, like I said with Frank Darabont, he draws you in. He's done more movies than Frank Darabont, obviously. But he hits it very few bad notes. He homers. He hits a home run every time because he just has this ability to work with his actors and get the most out of them. You know, he tends to work with the same people because there's consistency there, and he knows how to make movies. You know, so yeah. I mean, I knew somebody had to pick Steven Spielberg because, you know, where would Hollywood?
Well, somebody ran and picked Steven Spielberg when we first mentioned. I was like, oh, well, there goes my choice.
well, yeah, when you said let's pick somebody, I was like, well, shit, I better hurry up.
Like, I call dibs. Okay.
So, you know, there were times when I'm at work and you guys are like on Christmas break and like you got all this banter going on in the group text. I'm like, I don't have time to chime in right now. I'll chime in later when I get off of work or when I get home or tomorrow. But when I saw that we were picking directors, I go, oh, I better stop what I'm doing.
See, I feel like I should have picked Spielberg because Mike always takes what I do.
Exactly. That's what I thought was going to happen.
But no, that was an excellent choice, Mike. That was very good.
Well, I better jump on it before somebody else did. I go, we're talking best. Spielberg. How can you go wrong with Spielberg?
No, you can't go wrong with Spielberg. Not really. Not unless you're talking about what, 1941 or.
I seriously thought that that Victor, I'm surprised he said Frank Darabont. I thought he was gonna pick Stanley Kubrick.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because everybody's chiming in and I couldn't help but say, well, I know all these guys, these directors, but those are the obvious choices. And so like Stanley Kubrick is the guy who kind of influenced everybody we've been talking about so far. And it's just so funny. By coincidence, yesterday, I went to see 2001 at a theater. It was showing at a theater, and I couldn't miss that. I love that movie. Huh?
Which theater?
Huh?
Which
theater?
Oh, which theater?
Can we say the name?
Can we say the name? Is it Orchite Theater?
You can go ahead. I don't think they'll object to us saying what name.
This is actually a really good theater, but it's really far from where I live. But they were showing the 2001. It's Flicks Brew House in Potranco. That's a really nice place. In fact, Jose, I need to give you credit because it was you posted on social media about being there, and I said, hey, I've never heard of that place. I'm gonna go check it out because I'm awesome, and I do that. And I've been a fan, and I'd go there more often if it was closer to my house. But I'd say I've been there about 4 or 5 times. And not only that, the food is really good.
It's a really nice theater. Yeah,
it's a really nice theater, and they were showing that yesterday. and I just couldn't pass up a chance to see that movie on a big screen. And what I love about those kind of movies that are made from that era is that they have intro music, they have an intermission, they have
Oh,
play out
yeah.
music, like you're at the theater watching a play. I love movies like that. I just like old classic, the way they used to make them. They don't make them like that anymore, but it's always kind of neat that they play all this music and like there's nothing on the screen. And I'm sure all these young people are like, what happened? Does the light bulb burn out or what happened? I know it's happening, so I just sit there and I listen to the music, and and then the movie starts, and and that's the thing. The thing about Stanley Kubrick is a lot of his movies aren't the kind that you can watch over and over and over again, but they're so artistic. And I mean, they're so good as far as you study. This is how to make a movie. This is how to, move a movie along. I mean, he's just such an innovator. And I wanted to use him, but I said, no, that's too easy a choice. I wanted to go with somebody that was good, that maybe some people haven't heard of.
I don't know. That was about 5 minutes right there, Victor. You got two directors.
She mentioned Stanley Kubrick, and I just happened to be there yesterday.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
I had to chime in, and nobody picked Orson Welles. I'm surprised. I mean, there are a lot of great directors, but Stanley Kubrick's one of my favorite. But I don't want to go because he was too obvious. Martin Scorsese, nobody's talked about him yet. So I'll give it back to Mike, because this Mike was when I was talking, and y'all brought up Stanley Kubrick. So I had to give the man some credit, because I mean, The Shining, I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Check.
Or we can honorable mentions or.
Is there anybody else you want to give an honorable mention to? Mike?
I'm a big fan of the Coen brothers. I like their films.
They're excellent. I love that. I love their stuff too.
Yeah.
What about you, Jose?
I had one, and I was gonna do him, but I haven't seen all of his movies. I've only seen 3 maybe. And I know that even Spielberg and a lot of other directors were influenced by him, but his name's Akira Kurosawa.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen like The Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, and there was another one that I've seen of his.
Rashomon.
I haven't seen that one, but I forgot what the other one is. It's kind of like one of those that I think they made it like into a Western also, like they did with the Seven Samurai, which became the Magnificent Seven, right?
Right.
And so, and then of course, I found out about him because of George Lucas, because he was influenced by him. And so a lot of the things that are in Star Wars, he basically like borrowed or stole or whatever you want to call it, ripped off. But, but yeah, the guy's very influential.
Yes.
Yeah. What was that, Mike?
I said paid homage to.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to be nice about it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a lot of directors point to him and a lot of the things that he did, and innovative things with like filmmaking and directing and this story wise, like the way stories are told. So yeah, he was kind of my next one. But like I said, I haven't seen many of his movies, so I didn't think I could talk that much about him.
What was his name again? I'm not familiar.
Kurosawa. Akiro Kurosawa.
Okay.
You want me to spell it?
A-K-I.
Kurosawa.
King Kong versus Godzilla. That's what I wanted. It wasn't him, was it?
No, it was not. But there's also, it's just to go over my list, because I really didn't talk about any of these. Some of the other ones that I had were Baz Luhrmann, Danny Boyle, Charlie Chaplin, Wes Anderson. Obviously, that's like, he's the it guy right now. Everybody tries to mimic his I guess color palette or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
He's one director I don't like.
Really?
I don't like any of Wes Anderson's movies. I've seen like 5 or
Oh,
6 of them, and I
you're not
like
into it? No,
uh
I like
I
that.
think
I like his movies.
he's from here, right? From
Um,
Texas.
huh?
I think he's from Texas, isn't he? He's from here, from Austin.
Wes Anderson?
I thought so.
I think you're right. I think he's from Austin.
Yeah,
There's also David Lynch.
That's the one I was going to mention.
that was
Yeah,
another good.
David
Yeah.
Lynch, Rob Reiner. I love Rob Reiner's films.
Mhm.
And then, scandal noted. There's Woody Allen. There's Roman Polanski. And I don't know. I mean, there's tons of people out there. So
Well, the thing for me is that I know that people go to movies to be entertained.
Yep.
Some directors are very good at entertaining you. Some are more interested in kind of pushing the envelope. And because see, I think of film as an art form, and some of the directors they kind of, that's the direction they're trying to go. They're trying to create art, and so it doesn't always connect with people, like the guy that Jose just mentioned. I've seen his movie, Wes Anderson. Yeah, his movies are different. And I don't know why. It seems, I don't know. I need a bigger selection of people. Seems like women tend to like his movies more than guys do. I don't know why that is. It seems like, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like most women like his movies. And
interesting.
I watch his movies and I know what he's trying to do, and they're interesting. I don't hate them, but they're just, at the same time, they're like, okay, that was interesting. And that's about all I can say about them. I don't hate them, but it just, and I've seen some of them that I like more than others, but I don't know. It's an acquired taste. But like David Lynch, he's totally out in left field, but I love his movies because he's brave. He takes a chance. He tries to do weird things with his movies. He tries to use a lot of metaphors, a lot of weird stuff. And I remember the first time I saw Eraserhead, it totally blew my mind. Like, what was that?
And a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I liked it. But I liked
it. And I just like to say, like, well, this is totally different, but at the same time, I appreciated it in an artistic way.
See, but I'm gonna just say one thing real quick, because you said that David Lynch, you're talking about him being like brave and everything because he's doing something new, but so did Quentin Tarantino. And I know you guys kind of get caught up with this whole thing about the violence and everything, but there's more to it than that, because that's usually what they talk about, right? The violence. But if you've ever seen the movies, they're very artistic. They tell a good story, which is the most important thing. And I think that other stuff that he throws on there serves the story. Like, it's not just there to shock people, but I think it actually is like part of what the movie is trying to, the message of the movie, or what he's trying to come across. And so, I mean, I think what he's done also is very like innovative and brave.
I think both of them, both Lynch and Tarantino, they're not exactly the same style or genre, but they are very both provocative, and that's their art,
And they're both
the
an
art
acquired
coming
taste, right?
into
Because not
the-
everybody likes David Lynch's movies either.
Yeah.
It depends on what people are into. If you're into the gore, blood, and the shock value, yeah, it's gonna add to the film, like Jose said. But those that don't like it, they're like, okay, I want to follow this storyline, or the intricacy of the 3 or 4 different storylines that are woven together, but the violence takes away from it, because now it's like, okay, I was trying to follow this film, turned off.
What's funny is I recently went to see Poor Things with Emma Stone, and I can see Yorgos Lanthimos, the director. I can see him being influenced by David Lynch, because a lot of the way he shot the movie kind of reminds you of a David Lynch film. But I didn't like it as much as a David Lynch film. Maybe because I thought he was copying. I don't know. And I just thought it was a little too weird for me. And I just didn't I kept asking myself, why are they doing that? And I don't want to give anything away, but I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the critics did. I kind of sort of understood what he was trying to do, but it didn't connect with me. So, but that's interesting because I'm pretty sure he's influenced by David Lynch, because a lot of the scenes in there look like they were David Lynch like set.
Everybody's influenced by somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
like Tarantino's. I mean, he just didn't even deny it. He just came out and said, "I've stolen from every film I've ever watched."
That's true.
I mean, he worked at a video store for years before he's directing films, so he watched all kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the name of the film that was made here in San Antonio. Rolling Thunder, I think it's called. 1977 film. It was filmed here in San Antonio, and he names that as one of his favorite films.
Tarantino? Okay.
That's one I've never heard of, so I'll have to look into that one.
I didn't know it was filmed here in San Antonio.
Yeah. I'm part of a film group, and one of the guys, he goes around San Antonio or South Texas, Austin, and he likes visiting film locations. Like,
oh, neat.
And he'll post pictures with him standing in front of it, of course, of the house that they filmed Rolling Thunder at, somewhere off of way out on the south side in Espada Park. There's a house on the south side that they filmed out there. Yeah, so it's interesting because I'm like, okay, I did not know that. I'm gonna drive by there, and now that house that neighborhood that I drove through 100 times growing up, now it's like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, we have less than a minute, so do y'all want to wait 10 minutes and then come back and just finish up? We are back and we are finishing up our conversation on who the best director of all time was.
I thought that was settled already.
I think Mike believed that he's the winner. I think we're all kind of like, yeah, maybe you are. I don't know.
Well, if you're strictly talking about dollars, then yeah, I would.
Well, you know what? I think I skipped over that line. Let me see. Let me go back to. Oh yes.
Oh my gosh.
I did. I'm glad you reminded me. He is the most commercially successful director in history. There you go. And that came from Wikipedia, Google, so it's got to be true.
So it's got to be true.
If it's on there, it's got to be true.
You go, Mike.
Oh my Lord.
Mike just dropped the mic. So
yeah.
So there you go. But that's the measuring stick, then there you go.
So I just have a couple quick questions for y'all. First is, who do you feel would be like an up and coming director that in the future maybe people will consider as best directors?
Can we nominate ourselves?
Sure. What have you made?
The Pod Squad.
The Pod Squad. All right.
That's what we made.
I just need some funding. Hey,
do y'all have any that you think future generations will say, those people the Pod Squad we're talking about are crazy?
I can't think of anybody's name off the top of my head. I can think of like a movie, like the one guy who directed Hereditary. His name. I can't remember his name. I'm surprised.
That's a good question. I don't know right off. Let's see. I'm gonna Google that real quick.
He also did Midsummer.
And Midsummer, yeah.
I don't like Midsummer as much as
me neither.
Really?
But I thought Hereditary was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
They both were, but in totally different ways. But Hereditary really messed me up at the end.
Me too.
Let's see, Hereditary.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
think,
how many views do they have online?
How
yeah.
many what?
How many views? How many likes? How many views? I
Oh,
saw
how
this.
many?
I
Ari
saw-
Aster, that's his name.
Ari
yes,
Aster,
yeah.
right.
Ari Aster, yeah. That's a good one. I hadn't thought about.
Greta Gerwig has getting some traction.
Yep, I
she's
had her on my list.
and
There's a guy that I like, but again, he's an acquired taste. His name's Robert Eggers. He did a movie called The Witch and The Lighthouse, which was also nominated for an Oscar a few years back. And then
mhm.
recently he did a movie called The Northman.
Ah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
haven't
the-
seen any of those. I heard about the Lighthouse, but I haven't.
I heard about
that-
The Witch. That's supposed to be pretty creepy, scary. You know,
That one, I like it a lot, but
I
it's
haven't seen it, but I heard it's really good.
very different, very unique because it takes place like in the 1600s and they even speak in that kind of dialogue, but it's
Yeah.
kind of psychological like the whole time. You're kind of wondering like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about it. It's weird. I like weird movies.
Let's see. I wonder if it's streaming. I want to watch that.
And then another guy too that I saw this movie I'd heard a lot about, and it kind of blew me away because of the visuals. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a movie called Mandy, and it has Nicolas Cage in it.
Hmm.
It's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
a horror, but more action. It's horror because it's got a lot of gore in it and everything, but it's kind of like action, but the way it's filmed is kind of like almost like a hallucination, kind of like you're like on acid or something. And the guy that directed it, his name is Cosmatos. Panos Cosmatos. He was even
Cosmatos, yeah, Panos Cosmatos.
and he even directed an episode on in Netflix, I think. Oh, Guillermo del Toro, which happens to be another director, right? He has
Right.
a
Oh, that is great. Yeah.
he has a show, and it has, I forgot what it's called, the Curiosity
The
or
Cur-
Cabinet
Yeah,
Cabinet of
Cabinet of
Curiosities.
Curiosity.
And the guy directed one of those episodes too. And that's the reason I went to see what he had directed. And I saw he directed that Mandy movie, and I saw it and I thought, oh my God, this movie's like awesome.
I gotta
So
watch that one too. I remember seeing it come out, but I did not actually.
I'll let you know right now, it's strange. So before you watch it, just keep that in mind.
Eh.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, the first half is kind of like really surreal, and then the last half is like kind of like horror, almost like gore and just.
Oh,
But it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool. I can't think of any other directors, new ones. You know, I'm
What
still
about the
thinking-
What about the Mexicano ones we didn't talk about, like
Right.
Iñárritu and
Iñárritu, that
There's
was
a-
on my list.
Del Toro, and then there's the other
Cuarón.
guy, Cuarón. Yeah,
Cuarón, yeah.
those guys have done some good
But they're
stuff.
all
There's
very good.
Aldomovar. I can't ever say his name.
Almodovar.
Aldomovar.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan. But I do like Iñárritu, Cuarón, and Del Toro.
Yeah,
Greta Gerwig is on my list. So was Ava DuVernay, Jordan Peele, Catherine Bigelow, and Sofia Coppola.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Starting
Yeah.
to lean more towards like non-traditional directors now, as far as
Yeah.
like ethnicity and gender.
Who was that Asian woman who she just directed that Marvel movie, but before that she directed that movie about, and she won Best Director, I think.
Yes, she did, and I can't remember her name right now.
The one with Frances McDormand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That
what is that
three
called?
billboards one? No.
No,
Not Wasteland. Nomadland.
Nomadland, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good
that's,
movie.
Yeah. She directed that. I think she won Best Director, and then she did one of the Marvel movies after that.
Chloe Zhao.
Mm.
Zhao,
Maybe.
is that the way? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably not, but
Mhm. How are you gonna have the
Chloe
Asian
Zhao.
community come after you, Belinda?
I apologize.
Well, speaking of Asians, there's the two guys who directed the Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I was just gonna say that.
I don't think they've made another one since then. They might be doing a project right now, but
Maybe that was their breakout movie.
yeah, definitely.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. But that was definitely a good one. Very different.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what they come up with next, if they continue to work together like the Coen brothers do. We'll have to wait and see about that.
So definitely some good filmmakers out there.
Mhm.
We shall wait and see what comes up next.
Who comes up? Yeah.
All right, my last question before we sign off. What's on your watch list? What do y'all want to go see?
Well, Academy Awards nominations. In fact, aren't the Golden Globes right now? Aren't they on?
Yeah,
right?
I just saw the postings for the winners.
Yeah, I didn't see who won, but I want to try to see as many as I can. I went, like I said, I've been trying to see some of them during the break I took. I'm trying to think if there's any there. I usually wait till the nominees come out and say, okay, I saw that, didn't see that, so now I'm gonna go see that. Nothing jumps out at me because I've seen a lot of the movies that are, the Barbie and Oppenheimer and the Killers of the Moon,
Flower Moon.
And I'm trying to think. I know there's a few others like the one I said that I didn't like too much, that I was supposed to be getting some Oscar buzz. Poor Things. Yeah, that
yeah.
Some Oscar buzz. But I can't think of anything else that's. Yeah, there's some that I can't think of the names of them right now, but there's a few out there that I want. But I have a feeling the ones that are going to win most of the awards I've already seen. I have a feeling. That doesn't mean I don't want to see the other ones, but I have, unless something really impresses me.
But did you see Wonka?
Yeah, so that's not on the top of my list.
Which one?
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Oh.
Hey, I'm impressed with that young man.
Oh yeah,
Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say his name?
Chalamet.
Chevrolet.
He's got a big future ahead of him. Definitely.
Yeah, that guy's gonna be around for a long time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's
good.
already been a while. He's been around for a while already. He started very young.
Yeah. I'm just saying he's coming into like he's
Oscar,
gonna be around.
Oscar territory.
He's
really
becoming
great actor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dune is a movie. Speaking of him, Dune is a movie I would like to see. I'm looking forward to seeing the second
Did that one
sequel.
come out? The second one part already come out or no? No, right?
This year.
They postponed it
This
until
year?
later in the year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Later in the year. The one I want to see, I don't know if it's going to be nominated for any Oscars, but they're kind of like, there's like a buzz about it, is The Claw.
Oh, I saw that.
Zac
Was it
Efron and
good?
everything.
Well, I mean, don't
Saying
spoil
it's
it for
good.
anyone else. We already
Saying
know,
it's
or
good.
at least I do, what happens in the end. But
Wrestling fans kind of know what it's
Yeah.
but it's good. It's worth going to see. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I know so much of the story surrounding all of that because my brothers and my dad like definitely.
Yeah. I love seeing movies where like, okay, not because going back when I was a kid and watching it in real time, and growing up with the Bon Erics and following what happened with them, and now it's like I want to see what this film is about. Does it follow how I remembered it, or do they take liberty?
Yeah. I think every movie takes some liberties, but I think this one stays pretty close to how things happen, which is, I since y'all brought it up, and I was talking about that movie theater, the Flicks Brewhouse. When I went to see The Claw there, I thought it was kind of cool that before the movie started and before they started showing previews, they were actually showing like TV snippets of the actual Von Erich brothers
Oh.
being interviewed. You know, the actual guys, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of trash talk, a little bit of, you know, that was kind of cool. That's a good way to warm you up for what you're about to see.
Well,
And
that's good to know. I'm gonna take my dad to go see it there then.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. And they did the same thing with, I saw 2001, and they were showing like Star Trek and Lost in Space and different little
Oh,
things
Star
like that.
Trek versus Lost in Space, really?
Yeah, they were doing things like that. They were getting you ready for sci-fi, you know, that they do that. That was fun. That was cool.
Well, Victor, I don't want to like crash in on your father-daughter time or anybody else's quality time, but anytime you guys are at the movies or want to go to the movies, let us all know, because I think that's something we should all try to pursue as a group, if possible. We're not all gonna be able to make it, but I'd love to. Yeah.
I will. That next time that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Flicks brew beer, so
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
Do you know where that is, Mike?
The Flex Petrenko? No, I don't. I'm gonna look it up because it's not too
Okay.
far.
Let us know if that's the place that you can see yourself going to, and we'll make it like a group date type thing.
Is it, what do you, I don't know. Now you got me. Now you.
I don't know why you said that. It's like
What is it, like
it's
a
a cool place.
No,
it's
it's a
one-
wonderful place. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's too far for him to like go all the way out there, because it's kind of out there.
It is out there.
I'm concerned. Is it like a bathhouse theater? What is what kind of place? What kind of place you trying to take me to, Victor?
It's a
Wait,
great
wait a
theater.
minute. Hold on.
It's pretty
Hold on.
new. I don't know how old it is. Maybe about a year or two.
It's not Skin Flicks, it's Flicks, just Flicks.
Flicks.
Flicks, not Skin Flicks, right?
It's the way she said it, right? Like, man, well, I don't know. Is it?
The way you said it made it sound like, well, if you're not that religion, you're not gonna like it. If you don't follow that political way, you made it sound like it was.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! Now we went off the rails. You have to do a lot of editing here now.
Editing, I'm leaving that in there.
All you gotta do is take 1604 to Petrenko and go past Petrenko on the access road. It's not right next to a fireworks stand. You can't miss it. And
Go down the alley, knock on the door.
No,
Give him the password, right?
it's next to Costco. What are you talking about?
The password is Skin Flicks. All right.
The password is ninjas. Shit. Oh, got it.
okay,
Oh my goodness.
I will do that. I will text y'all next time.
Okay.
Make it great. You can't. It's okay.
Well, I guess that's all we really were planning on discussing. So
That's a good way to end it.
if you guys are ready, or unless y'all have something else to share,
Did we
No.
leave anything out?
I don't think we did.
No stone unturned.
Tune in to our next episode for more.
I just wanted to give one really quick shout out to our missing member. She's not here today. Kitty Cat, yes. Susan had to miss today's meeting, but and this will be coming out after the fact, but tomorrow is her birthday, so
Oh,
I wanted to wish her happy birthday.
happy birthday!
So Susan, yeah, happy birthday, and hopefully we'll see her next time we're on. Any last minute parting thoughts, guys?
No.
We're good. Well, it was nice talking to you all about your favorite directors. We'll have to do this again next time.
Yes.
Different topic. All right. Well, that's the end. And if you still haven't subscribed, liked, followed, whatever, make sure you check out the little ticker tape below and go find us on Facebook, YouTube, Apple podcasts, and anywhere you listen to your podcasts, we're probably on. So, and that is it for today. I guess we'll see you all next time. Maybe we'll see you at the movies.
Maybe.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.